How's it going, guys? Patrick from RWingAttack here with a brand new video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Pokemon Direct that we just saw. Now, at the time of this recording, the Pokemon Direct was yesterday morning, so kind of doing a little bit of a later reaction. I was going to do one last night, but never really got the time. So today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and my feelings on what Pokemon announced and how I feel. Does it make sense? So let's get right into it. So we'll step back a little bit. So before this Pokemon Direct, some of my predictions, and I didn't make a video about this, I probably should have, but some of my predictions were, I thought that Pokemon was really going to focus on mobile games. You know, Pokéland was just announced as being a game. Magikarp Jump is, a fairly new game for the mobile market. And of course, Pokemon Go, with all the rumors of the legendaries coming in the summer and all of these kind of elemental events, I thought that maybe this would be a more mobile-focused Direct, and that definitely would have made people mad because a lot of people aren't really interested in Pokemon Go. I'm a big fan of Pokemon Go. I still play daily, but that's what I thought it was going to be, and I thought maybe they would announce another 3DS game. I had a feeling that Pokemon Sun and Moon was going to be talked about in some fashion, but the idea of Pokemon Stars really didn't, I don't know, I just wasn't expecting it too much. I didn't want to get my hopes up, and for good reason, because it wasn't announced. Little spoiler there for those of you who didn't watch it. Now let's go to the Direct. So those were my predictions, and obviously my predictions were exceeded, because as much as I would have liked to hear about Pokemon Go, I didn't want to hear about Pokemon Go. I wanted to hear about Switch, and the fact that a Switch game actually got revealed kind of blew away my expectations. I didn't think that that was going to happen. Now, it wasn't quite the game that I was expecting and hoping for, but when Pokken DX or Deluxe for the Switch was announced, I gotta say I was really, really excited. A little bit about this, because this is a little disclaimer here, and I'm in a very unique situation because I didn't really play Pokken Tournament for the Wii U. I downloaded the demo, but that's pretty much all the exposure I got to Pokken Tournament. Of course I know what the game is, and I've seen people play it and gameplay of it, but for me, I really didn't get to play a whole lot of it. So the fact that it's being ported to the Nintendo Switch, essentially, it's a straight port. Even the new characters that they're adding are from the arcades in Japan. So this is a giant port onto a console, which I'm actually fine with. But people need to realize that this is a straight port of, a combination of the Wii U game and the arcades in Japan. Those characters, like Darkrai is already a character. Scizor, Croagunk, these are already characters in the arcade game. But I'm okay with that. It was nice to see Decidueye, probably one of my favorite new Pokemon from the Pokemon Sun and Moon series. So that was a pleasant surprise, and I gotta say that this will be a game that I most likely will be getting on the launch week of this game. So me being a kind of haven't really played this game on the Wii U in Pokken, I'm excited for this, and this is a game that I'm actually looking forward to play. And if you look at the commercial and the launch trailer for this game, here's where it all goes down. So if you look at the commercial, it is strictly in handheld mode. Like, you see this kid kind of traveling around rainforests and jungles, playing this game in handheld mode. It's not until the end where he actually docks it in the TV. For those of you who didn't catch that, this is a very Japanese-based game, and this is directed towards the Japanese market because Pokken Tournament in Japan is giant. Like, that is one of the biggest games still, even in the arcades, but that's still a giant game for Japan in that kind of side of the demographic for Nintendo. And, over there, they play a lot of games in portable mode. Splatoon, Pokken are giant there. So this is very much a Japanese kind of catered Direct. So as much as we don't like it over here, they're going nuts over there about this. So I just wanted to get that out. And, Pokken DX, I'll definitely be picking up. I like the addition of the new characters. I think we're at 20 or 21, which I think is a great number for the amount of characters. And, this is going to be a day one pickup, and I'm really, really excited about this. So the first part of the Direct, I'd have to give an A+. I really do think that this is a great game. Although I would have liked to see Pokemon Stars in a full-fledged Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch. I really like this. Now, the second thing that was revealed is kind of a head scratcher and kind of something that I would have done differently. Now, for those of you who did not watch the Pokemon Direct, a Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon were announced for the 3DS. Now, these games are a little bit different than the games that came before them, so I guess there'll be new storyline additions and some new Pokemon coming to the game. The graphics look pretty much the same, if not a little better, but this isn't going to be very much different from Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. So it's kind of weird that they announced this, but again, this is very Japanese oriented. So I think that they're going crazy over there where we're just kind of like, okay, all right, this is a decent game. But I wanted to talk about that a little bit because kind of my suggestion and my solution to this would have been to release Pokemon Stars, a third game on the Nintendo 3DS, rather than releasing two new games that are essentially the same thing except new storylines and new Pokemon. I just don't think it makes sense. I think that one single game in Pokemon Stars would have been a lot better and probably more profitable than two additional games. I think that the casual player is going to get a little bit confused when they see this in the store. And, I just don't think... I think there's going to be a lot of confusion in terms of marketing and stuff for this game. So I would have rather have seen a Pokemon Stars. Even if it was on the 3DS, maybe some Nintendo Switch compatibility later on. But Pokemon Stars makes a little bit more sense instead of two new games. So that's my only gripe with that. The third part was kind of a minor announcement, but it was a cool announcement nonetheless. So Pokemon Gold and Silver, the original versions, not Soul Silver or Heart Gold, but Pokemon Gold and Silver, will be added to the Nintendo eShop, I guess, at the time in September, I'm guessing, when all of this comes out. I think that that's a pretty good move by Nintendo. It definitely makes the 3DS a little bit more desirable. And for those who haven't played these original games, these are fantastic games. Pokemon Gold and Silver are among the best Pokemon titles out there. I actually prefer them over the original Pokemon Red and Blue. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. And probably this game is assumingly gonna be $9.99. I couldn't see it more than $10 for this game, but Pokemon Silver and Gold are definitely high in prices if you're looking for the Game Boy Advance games or Game Boy Color games. So this is a nice addition to the 3DS shop, and that's kind of all I have to say on that. Didn't really wow me, but it was a nice addition nonetheless. So how do I feel about this overall? Well, I'm going to mention this, and it's a little bit surprising that Nintendo is kind of resurrecting the 3DS a little bit because, a few months ago even, this console was pretty much presumed dead, and there really wasn't much games coming out for it. If you actually look at the games coming out for the 3DS, it kind of blows you away a little bit. And for me, I don't have my 3DS anymore. I actually sold it because I just didn't play it, especially with the Switch coming out. It's really hard to get back into the 3DS, especially the graphical differences. I really don't want to have two portable consoles that essentially play the same games. But if you're looking at the games that are coming out for the 3DS, they're really good. And Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you have Hey Pikmin, you have Ever Oasis, and if you count the Monster Hunter games, those are some pretty good games. So I'm happy to see that the 3DS is still living and still kicking. But it's a little bit of a head scratcher that something with the Switch and something with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon or Pokemon Stars or whatever you want to call it didn't have some kind of Nintendo Switch capability or compatibility. So that's kind of a little weird, but overall I'm very excited about what this Direct had to say. I really like the style of it. It was kind of like an 8-minute thing with two different speakers. So I thought the Direct overall was fine. And if I had to give this a grade, I would give it probably a B+. I think that this Direct got its point across. It announced essentially 4 new games. Well, 3 new games. Pokemon Gold and Silver are kind of a cool addition to the eShop. But Pokken DX or Deluxe, definitely going to be a day one purchase for me. And I'm excited to see that the Nintendo Switch is getting even more competitive, possibly esport games. I mean, the Nintendo Switch comes with 2 controllers. I mean, this was made to be a multiplayer console, and I think that Pokemon DX is going to be a nice addition. And now we know exactly what's going to be filling out the September slot, because before that, it was pretty much empty. But overall, guys, let me know what you think. Were you let down that Pokemon Stars wasn't announced? I know that that was kind of the big rumored thing to happen. I'm actually okay with this Direct. I like the games that were announced. I think that one Pokemon Stars game would have been better than 2 new Pokemon Sun and Moon games. That's just my opinion. But guys, let me know your opinion in the comments below. Remember to subscribe if you guys want some more Nintendo content, more reaction, more analysts, more speculation videos. This is Patrick from RWingAttack. Thank you very much for watching.